pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's do a roll call.
Director Rolfe? Here. Director Diamond?
Here.
Director Hetherington?
Here.
Director Stevens?
Here.
And Teresa's absent.
Let's do a speak your piece reminder to all people. Pay attention, be aware, and attend to the world and the people around you. Listen, focus on others in order to understand their points of view. Be inclusive, welcome all groups of citizens working together for the betterment, the better good of the community. Don't gossip, and don't accept others choose to do so. Show respect, honor other people and their opinions, especially in the midst of disagreement. Be agreeable. Look for opportunities to agree. Don't contradict just to do so. Apologize, be sincere, and repair damaged relationships. Give constructive criticism. When disagreeing, stick to the issues, not a personal attack. Take responsibility. Don't shift responsibility and blame onto others. Share disagreements publicly. And now is the time for public comment on anything not on the agenda for this meeting. Is there any public comment? Wow. This has got to be the first in my 8-year tenure on the board that there's no public comment. Thank you very much. Oh, well, where's your wig?
Well, this one's simple. This isn't all that.
Who are you, sir?
My name is Mike. Mike Daniel. And I'll read another one again here. It's easier for me to read. But yeah, my name's Mike Daniel. I'm a proud member of this community. And after hearing the visionary insights presented by Dr. Emmett Brown a month ago, I feel compelled to share my enthusiastic support for his vision, for his forward-thinking vision. Dr. Brown outlined a future where strategic investments and innovative projects have turned our airport into a vibrant hub of activity. As a community member, I'm thrilled by these potential ideas and to help transform our town. The integration of advanced technologies and creation of engaging community spaces and the emphasis on sustainable growth align perfectly with our shared values. The success stories from 2049 highlight not just financial gains, but also the enriched quality of life for our residents. Initiatives like community hangar spaces, mini golf courses, and food truck course foster a sense of community and belonging. The STEM space and the arcade engage our youth in healthy, creative activities. So I fully support this concept and believe by acting on these visionary plans now, we can ensure a prosperous, innovative, and inclusive future for Truckee. Let's embrace this opportunity to make our airport and community a model of progress and innovation. Thank you for your time and consideration. Since I have 3 minutes, I'll give you a creative version of that. Here's a poem I wrote. Ladies and gentlemen of the Truckee Board, hear the tale of plans explored. My name is Mike. I share with pride our community's future, bright and wide. Dr. Emmett Brown, with visions grand, showed us a future perfectly planned. Investments wise and projects new turned our airport into something true. Advanced tech and spaces grand, communities thrive just as planned. Success in 2049, not just in gold, but in the stories of lives retold. Community spaces, mini golf too, food trucks bring something new. STEM spaces, arcades, youth engage, and healthy play a brighter stage. Let's act now with vision clear, a prosperous future ever near. Truckee's Airport, a model bright for progress and community day and night. Thank you all for hearing me. Let's build this future for all to see with plans so bold and hearts so true. Truckee's tomorrow starts with you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other public comment? All right, we're going to end public comment. The next item is the consent agenda. Does anybody want to pull anything on the consent agenda?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second. Director Rolfe?
Yes.
Director Diamond,
Yeah. Yes.
Director Heatherington,
Yes.
Director Stevens.
Yes. Okay, action items, none. Next is board and committee assignments and ad hoc committee reports.
Good evening. I wrote a pretty lengthy summary regarding the workforce housing agency's board meeting we held last week. The board approved a service contract with the Sierra Business Council for Public Affairs Services, which is going to advance, or its main goal is to advance public policy at the state and federal and legislative and state administrative agency level to increase housing production that benefits our unique needs here in North Lake Tahoe, Truckee, and Eastern Nevada counties. This service agreement fulfills the goals, one of our goals in our strategic plan to increase state funding for workforce housing. We also reviewed a master lease proposal with Industrial Way Sage Apartments, which is located within the Pioneer Center. I linked the apartment listing within the committee report. The agency has helped successfully fill 7 of the 9 apartments, achieving a 78% occupancy of the complex. The units are being occupied by both TTWHA member agency employees and the general working public within the TTUSD boundaries. We're reviewing a proposed proposal of master lease agreement between the Workforce Housing Agency and the Industrial Way Partners, which we will be in charge of the leases of that building and subsidizing the monthly rents with approximately $30,000 a year. So if we go into agreement, the rents that are currently within those units right now set will be reduced. And so we are asked Heidi, our executive director, to come back with a more detailed financial analysis of that proposal. And we are hopeful we can approve that agreement next month. We also approved the fiscal year 2024-2025 strategic planning priorities, as well as the 2024-2025 budget.
Thank you.
I'll give a brief update on the river revitalization strategy. There were 2 meetings. First was the Economic Vitality Action Team. I created a plan with our urban economist consultant to engage the property owners as well as business owners on West River Street. When I wrote this, he had reached out to 9 of 32 key individuals, and I think it's now up to approximately 13, so he's making great progress. Too soon to tell or identify any trends. The second was the River Steering Committee. We met on the 15th of July. It was really more of a working group. What was interesting is the working group was looking at what West River Street could look like. And one of the tasks was to look at the road configuration, and independently, all 3 working groups agreed that the current road configuration on West River Street is non-conducive to any of the visions in the future. So there's a wide swath of moving the road wholesale or just making some small minor improvements. But it appeared that there was consensus that the road needs to be viewed very closely as we look at the future of West River. That's all I have.
On Climate Transformation Alliance, there was a quarterly meeting on July 12th, included in the board packets, and for the public is the meeting minutes from that, which includes 3 presentations from Sugar Bowl, Palisades, Tahoe, and North Star California resorts. And they discussed their own decarbonization plans and that each individual resort is working on, and really quite comprehensive, and it's worth a review of what those resorts are working on. Also in the update, there are several webinars coming up that are being hosted by the town. They're around electrification of buildings and building decarbonization. There's several links in the materials and further information to share. That's all I have. On the ACT meeting for next month, we are going to focus, it's on the second Wednesday of every month. Occasionally we move it based on other conflicts. This next month, August 14th, we plan on covering where we're at with our current strategic plan, our 2023 to 2026 strategic plan, and talk about what progress we've made to date.
Do we have any board members who want to attend that? I'd actually like to attend it since I'm no longer on laptop.
I would do it too. Great. David and Rick.
Well, I think we're on to the general manager's report.
Great. There's a couple highlights here on our strategic plan. There's that first graphic and 4 quadrants there are our 4 areas of focus areas for the strategic plan. The top left side, starting there, you'll see green check marks. These are areas that have been completed or significant progress underway. The areas that you see in each of the quadrants that have the circle with the slash through it, the blue circle slash through it, are areas that we currently haven't made any progress on, and we probably aren't working on currently in this fiscal year, and most likely we'll be bringing those back around next fiscal years as a priority. The areas that have the black arrows are things that we are actively working on right now to try to further develop and find the board's direction from the past and what's outlined in the strategic plan to develop or expand existing programs and services. We expect this next month in August that we will be talking in more detail or perhaps in a workshop. I think that's up to the board to determine at this point. Policy Instruction 311, which is our community benefit policy, talking about various ways based on the previous workshop the board held earlier this year, how we might be shifting that program slightly. And so more to follow as we begin agendizing that or talk about a special meeting for that in a workshop format. Wildfire mitigation.
I would be in
Yes.
favor of a workshop, to, maybe send out a doodle if that's the consensus, but
I agree.
Depending on how busy the agenda is, I liked your idea of trying to do it today because it was such a light agenda and just wrapping it into this meeting. So I don't know what August looks like as far as other business we have to do.
That certainly could be an option. I can work with Rick, the president, to see if it fits within the natural meeting timeframe. We don't have too much loaded on. We could do a workshop in that format or a meeting, a discussion. I imagine this is a discussion item in a board setting or a workshop setting to talk about the previous board's guidance. So that could be an option based on timing and the board's desires. Either one can be options, right? Yeah. We can have a workshop or we can do it at the board meeting. I
I'd
don't
like
I don't
to
know
do
what the
it at-
agenda looks like right now for August, but
yeah. But, it's like a workshop. I would really like to see a workshop. Teresa's not here, but has sent me her comments that she'd like to do it in a workshop. And just a consensus, if you could get out a doodle to try and find some time, that would be awesome.
I agree.
Wildfire mitigation program, we've been working with our 4 different fire districts in this region, along with CAL FIRE and state parks. Obviously, you've noticed a lot of helicopter activity here at the airport. Jeff's going to talk about that in a few minutes in his AVCOM report. This slide's already 2 weeks old, and the numbers have grown significantly. Not that all fire is bad, but there are quite a few fires in the area, including the Gold Complex fire that's folks that are stationed here or supporting the suppression on. So our overall partnership with state parks, Olympic Valley Fire Department, North Tahoe Fire Department, Truckee Tahoe Fire Department, and North Star Fire Department is part of the board's approved program to work with all these different fire jurisdictions to help fund significant existing programs to reduce fuel loads around these communities. And so those are ongoing. All but one agreement has been finalized. We just began transferring some of the funds for specific projects. A lot of those projects are just getting underway or are ahead of us in the next few months. And as those begin making progress, I'll be reporting back to the board about that progress and the work around that. Yep, that was the map that was part of the presentation before. There's some additional information on each of those projects that's available as part of our previous presentation to the board of directors when this project was approved. Air show, currently, just a reminder, we're not planning to have an air show next year because we are working diligently on plans to redo the apron in front of the building here, which is going to be pretty involved. And so more to come on that with the board to review the design of that probably in September of this year, as I expect. We are also looking for, I mentioned this to the board before, just so people widely know, our current existing contract relationship with our fuel provider, our aviation fuel provider, is expiring 1 October. So we'll be launching out a new request for proposal for aviation fuel suppliers to consider and present to the board of directors before that expires, so we can award a new agreement. And I will stop my comments there and turn to Jeff.
AvCon report, just a couple items. Year over year, operations are on par for a typical summer. It's a little bit of an increase over last year, but very much in line with prior years. A little bit more jet activity. However, when you look at the noise comments from households, there's no increase when it comes to large jets. I would hypothesize that it's probably just tracking the stock market. It's been a really good year. For FlySafe, we're up to 270 pilots have attended FlySafe seminars year to date. Hangar inspections are now complete. There have only been 5 hangars that were sent 30-day corrective actions. Of those, 3 of the 5 have been corrected, so only 2 outstanding, and we're following up with those tenants. And the last item is the quarterly reports. Just 2 items to point out. So this is looking at operations and comments quarter to quarter. So over the past, since 2020 to 2024, over the past 4 years, this spring to summer, comments are down over the past 4 years. When you look over the past 4 years in terms of total households, we're also down. So in 2020, there were 70 households, 21, 70 households, again, for this quarter. 2022, 60, 23 is 55, and for 2024, it's 40 households have made comments. So over that period, we're down about 43% in terms of households making comments to the airport in terms of noise and annoyance. So.
And you know what I'd say.
You would say that they have gotten tired of calling. I would say that they have gotten habitualized to the noise that really changed starting in 2012, and that we have a very aggressive outreach, and I hope that we've built some trust with the community. So that's all my all my comments. Kelly?
Good evening. Just want to give a quick update with our year-to-date financials through June 30th, 24. Year-to-date revenues of $8.3 million, expenses of $6.3, and after depreciation, we're looking at an income of about $800,000, $1.6 million over budget, and $240,000 under last year. A few quarterly variances or year-to-date variances to point out. Operations monitoring, we're a little over because we ended up paying our ADSB invoice in 1 chunk instead of 2, as we have done in the past. A little high in engineering, we've been doing some warehouse roof engineering and some items in relation to the land swap. and a little extra lands management items that we worked on this year that have never been worked on before, and likely not again for another 20 years. So a little extra there. And on the savings front, a lot of items where we haven't had a whole lot of spending yet this year, or timing of the invoices as they've come in. And one of the other larger ones was in the other expense category for the hangar loan interest that will go through in the month of July. And just a quick investment update. Total investments out there, 9.6 million. We've got CDs with Wells Fargo, 2.5 with CalClass, our new investment for replacement reserves, and 5.3 with Life. And just so you guys know, we've kicked off our implementation with NetSuite, the new accounting software. Very exciting. We're having meetings pretty much every day trying to implement and build and personalize the whole thing. Myself and Emily and Lauren building it as we go here, and looking forward to moving to a new system here very soon.
I have one alibi. Rob had mentioned helicopters with the Gold or Millfire complex over the past 3 days. This was as of this morning, so and I know there have been some helicopters flying this afternoon, but from the 22nd, the 23rd, 24th, it's been over 80 helicopter operations, and there have been 35 operations for nighttime. It's actually a little bit higher than that, but lots and lots of activity. So there are 4 CH-47s here. There's a Black Hawk and a Bell helicopter here. So there are 6 helicopters here actively engaged in the fire. There's also been some helicopter activity with the Army National Guard for the search and rescue that was taking place up along the Rubicon Trail. So lots of activity as an emergency services support base.
And they can fly and fight at night. They've got the capability.
Yes, they can.
I heard, gee, what was all that activity over my house? Because they were hammering up north.
Yep, they are equipped with night vision goggles and very effective at fighting the fire when winds are low. And they can put out spot fires that cross lines very effectively at nighttime. So.
And, people who are annoyed are not annoyed at nighttime
We
when
have
they're
no,
realizing
we
that
have
you're
no
putting
complaints
fire.
about helicopters.
Everybody understands, and it's really a great honor that we can be here to
Absolutely.
be basing and doing that effort, because we have the fuel, we have the base, and it's great that we can do that. 'Cause
Absolutely.
those are big. They blew up really fast.
Very fast.
That concludes our reports from staff. As far as future meetings and upcoming things to coordinate, I think the primary one is working with the board president to schedule a policy instruction 311, either workshop or as part of a board meeting. And we'll certainly talk about what that looks like with the upcoming agenda and where we might fit it otherwise. And we'll do a doodle poll if we go with the workshop route.
Okay, we'll look at it. If you look at the rolling agenda, some of the things have already gone off.
Yes,
That RFP is gone.
right.
So we'll look at that and get back to you. Meeting review and direction to staff?
That was the primary one, other
Okay.
than closed session.
All right. Gee, board member announcements. I have one. As of 2 o'clock today, not a single person has filed for election to Truckee Tahoe Airport District Board of Directors. I find that amazing, but it's true because I looked at it at 2 o'clock. And until somebody files, then there's nothing on the report. And I think the filing period runs through August 5th, or maybe 6th.
14th.
Pardon me?
14th.
It's the 9th, and
The 14th, if you're not filing, that means there's an open seat, no incumbent, so it's extended to the 14th.
by 5 days. And I am not filing. I am not filing. I am not filing. So there you are.
When is our budget workshop? Do we have that? I don't see that on the.
We haven't set dates for that. I think something
That'd
we
be
need to.
September
I think at the earliest September.
or, okay.
Anything else? How about we adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Director Rolfe? Director Diamond?
Yes.
Director Hetherington?
Yes.
And Director Stevens?
Yes.
Adjourned 5:02.